here today to introduce you to our new sustainable sourcing tool and explain a little bit about the background as to why we developed it and how you can use the tool. So we know there's an awful lot that goes into deciding whether to stock a particular species, and there's lots of different sources of information to get your head around. So we designed this tool as a framework to help importers and retailers make informed decisions when they're considering whether to bring in or whether to stock any given fish species. So just to be clear, this isn't a tool that tells people what they should or shouldn't stock. It's not OATA saying stock this or don't stock that. Instead, the tool guides you through the kinds of issues that you might already be thinking about, but hopefully will highlight some areas that you may not have considered, all the while signposting useful resources to support that informed decision making. Final decision about whether to import or stock a species always remains with you, provided, of course, it's a legal acquisition. So we developed this tool in conjunction with our board of directors, and it draws on their expertise from across the supply chain, including sourcing, collecting, breeding fish, through to importing, wholesale and retail, and even the customer care beyond that initial point of purchase. So the tool focuses on 4 main areas, those being supplier and supply chain considerations, animal welfare, biosecurity and risks to human health, and conservation. And again, we appreciate these areas that are covered are probably already things that businesses are considering, but the tool gives us a way to demonstrate the strong standards that industry is already working to when we're doing our job of representing and championing the trade. So what I'll do now is I'll move to a short demonstration of how the tool works in practice. So this is the landing page when you open the tool. It's got some background information. And you'll first be asked whether you're considering freshwater or saltwater fish and whether the fish is captive bred or wild collected. And depending on how you answer these questions will vary the questions that you're asked further down the line. Because again, the considerations for a captive bred freshwater fish are very different than those of a wild caught marine fish. So you just click through. So hypothetically here, we'll go for a captive bred zebra danio from Biggie's Freshwater Delights. So you'll be presented with a range of options. So supply chain and supplier reliability. So depending on whether you've used this supplier before, whether you've had good experiences with them, whether there's room for improvement. Click the statement that best describes your situation. Again, for the animal welfare section, just ticking the area that best represents the fish that you are considering. And so when we get onto the biosecurity and risks to human health, there may be questions that you don't know the answer to. So is this fish invasive in the country where it's being bred? So if you're not sure the country of origin or the range, you've always got the option of putting I don't know. And again, there'll be no judgment on the output. If you say you don't know the answer to any questions, it'll just guide you to here's where you can look to find some more information. Through conservation implications. Again, this first question, what's the IUCN status of the species? If you don't know, you can either put I don't know, that's absolutely fine, you'll just be guided. Or if you're looking on a browser like this, you can just open up another tab and find out the information there and then. So once you've been through the questions, you'll be asked if you want to receive an email of your results. Would always recommend this. We don't keep a record of everybody's results. This is purely so that you've got a PDF downloadable that you can put on record, but I won't in this instance. And then you'll be presented with the outcome. So we've got a sort of speedometer, sort of highlight whether there's minimal concerns, a few more concerns, or whether there are some more serious issues. So here we've got captured bred freshwater zebra danio from Big East Freshwater Delights, the outcome being minimal concerns. And then you've got a summary here of what you've responded, and any immediate guidance that we might offer. And again, you really want to get the results on the email because that's where you'll get the links to all of the resources. This is essentially just an overview of the main themes. So the way in which the tool has been developed means that any recommendations that you might receive will depend on other factors, such as the supplier that you're working with, the facilities that you have available to you. This means that essentially two people considering the exact same species, possibly even from the same supplier, could receive slightly different recommendations. So the results that you get are very much tailored to your situation at a given time. And we are planning to expand this tool in future to include other taxa, such as corals or other invertebrates. So once you've had a chance to try it, we'd really welcome any feedback on what works well, what could be improved, so that we can incorporate that into future iterations of this tool, and hopefully when we expand to other taxa. And you can send any feedback to info@ornamentalfish.org, and that will get through to us. Thank you very much.